Good morning, sweet friends. It is Soul-Filled Saturday time, and I'm actually here on a Saturday at 11 o'clock, just like I promised. Sometimes life just, I don't want to say gets in the way, but derails us a little bit, doesn't it? I hope you've had a beautiful week so far. I am pulling up my feed over here so that I can see comments in case they go out on my phone. And I hope that you don't have any problems logging on, because we've had this loopy-loop thing going on here lately. And there is nothing us creators can do about it. It's just one of those things. If you have the loop-de-loop going on, go back out, shut your phone down, bring it back up, try to log in a different way. Sometimes I cannot go on somewhere with my business page, but I can log into my personal page. So try different ways to get to where you want to be, to see your favorite creator. What's that, character? I'm a character, that's for sure. Oh, my word. It is going to be an amazing day, amazing grace. That's what I need. So true. Oh, my gosh. I love this time together, ladies. And for those of you that are new, hop on in any time. You don't have to have a book. You don't have to be here all the time. I would love for you to be here every Saturday, but if you can't, like I said, life gets in the way, things happen, and or like me, you have fog brain and you forget the time. It's like yesterday, I was taking a Canva class with my friend Shar. By the way, she is an amazing teacher. If you want to learn anything about Canva, take her class. We just started. We had our second session yesterday. It is a 12-week course. It is Shar Huskin's designs, I believe. I cannot remember. I just know her as Shar. If you go on my page, I'll have a post on there. But anyway, she is just amazing. She will teach you all kinds of tricks and things and how to compose something, have the right colors and fonts and whatnot. I mean, it is a very valuable course. So, but it started at 11. I have it on my phone, on my calendar for 11. I told my husband, well, we can eat at about 11, about 11, 11:30, and then I'll go up because it doesn't start until 12. No, it started at 11. I have it in my calendar. I was dead set that it was 12 o'clock. Don't know why. I just mixed my hours and my times up. So I was a little bit late to the lesson. But thank goodness for replay. And that's the same thing here. If you miss it because you mixed your time up or something happened or, you slept in or whatever the case may be, the grandkids came over, family is always first. Health is always first. So, I mean, honestly, God is first and then everything else falls into place. But don't beat yourself up. Go watch the replay. I appreciate you when you hop on the replay. It just blesses my heart that you think enough of it to hop on and watch the replay. So thank you. Today's lesson is going to be limit your sugar intake. And no, all of you are going to say, oh yeah, it's the same thing, diet here, diet there, do this, do that, don't eat this, don't eat that. But this is from a biblical perspective. So hear me out, but more importantly, hear the Lord out and see what things he has for us to share. And let's just read this together. We are on day 17, which we call week 17. And I'm going to turn you down just a smidge. And it says our scripture memory verses are in Proverbs 31:14 and 15. And it says, she is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. Our passage is out of Proverbs 23:1-3. And it says, when you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Let me read that again. That's harsh. I mean, that is absolutely harsh. So let me read that. It says, when you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what it is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Proverbs 23:1-3. Our prayer this morning, our guided prayer says, Dear Lord, I am so blessed to share all my meals with the King of Kings. Thank you for all the good things you provide, including my daily bread. I acknowledge that it's often a challenge to eat wisely when I dine out at restaurants with family and friends, or when I go to special events. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by making an issue about food, but at the same time, I want to exercise wisdom. I'm amazed how strongly worded this proverb is, that I'd better to put a knife to my throat than to give in to gluttony. Help me to view gluttony as a serious sin that it is, and to take my eating habits as seriously as you do. I confess that sometimes I do crave the delicacies that are put right in front of me and don't often exercise proper self-control. Instead, I allow myself to be deceived by food that looks good, even though it isn't good. Holy Spirit, empower me to escape my bondage in my life in the area of food, so that I can glorify God at all times in every area of my life. Amen. Hello, Miss Bunny, my friend. Our topic today is to limit our sugar intake. And here's our personal section, and she writes that the Proverbs 31 woman provided food for her family and portions for her servant girls. And we will talk about portions later on in this course. Since everyone rose up and called her blessed, it is safe to assume she fed them the right food and the right portions. Have you ever noticed that overweight parents most of the time have overweight children? It is not genetics, it is the eating habits. We are talking about the types of food to choose for your families and ourselves, and tomorrow we are talking about portion control. Our tomorrow will be next week. So next week we'll be talking about portion control. But today we're talking about types of food, what's good for us, what to leave out. And Miss Donna says she finds it interesting that the very first recorded sin involved a woman tempted by food that looked too good to pass up. It already started there. Like it warned us here, be wise about what is set before you. Right there in the garden, it started. There was something that looked really good for her, even though the Lord said, don't eat that. It is not good for you. And then she says, I don't know about you, but I'm not certainly in a position to judge Eve. We are not here to judge anybody. We are here to make wiser choices for our lives and our families. Donna says, I love food that looks good to eat, like donuts, cookies, cakes, probably ice cream, all the good sweet stuff. She's always tempted to indulge her taste buds in those little lovingly looking morsels. And she says, even though I know these foods will lead me into sin. And then, she has a question behind it. How? How can these good-looking glazed filled donuts or those, big sandwich cookies or that, 3-layer cake with buttercream icing, how can that lead to sin? And here's what she says. They will alter your blood sugar, make her irritable within about 30 minutes. Then she gets depressed because her clothes don't fit. And the list goes on from there. She also says that she finds it interesting that Adam and Eve both needed new outfits after demonstrating their inability to resist the food temptation. Not much has changed. If we do not have self-control and we eat without even thinking, we need new clothes. But it is beyond new clothes. It is beyond mindless eating. It is your health, your body. It does affect every part of your body. And then sometimes we say, well, it's not hurting anybody if I'll eat this donut or this cake or this whatever your indulgence is, because you can overeat on anything. Yes, it does affect others because your mood changes. You might develop diabetes, so you have to be taking medication. If diabetes runs rampant, you're going to need help. Somebody's going to have to help you. So it does affect other people. It does make a difference, not only in your life, but also in other people's lives that are around you. Eating healthy is not just about you. And then she says, now let's look at delicacies, specifically sugar. She loves sugary treats just like anyone else does. And she said she has eaten her share of Oreos. I honestly don't like Oreos. I eat them, but I eat the pie, the Oreo pie, when it's mixed up with whipping cream or something like that. I'll eat Oreos, but Oreos is not one of my favorite cookies. I just don't. Hey Sherry, I just don't like. Thank you, Siri. I just don't like Oreos. Now you give me a pound cake, any kind of pound cake, and it doesn't have to have icing. I'm not much of an icing person, but a pound cake with some fresh fruit on it and whipping cream, like real whipping cream or the canned stuff, Ready Whip. Oh my goodness, yes and yes, I love it. So we all have our little, treats that we like. So, and then she puts a comment behind it that I think a lot of us have done. She says, especially when someone hurts my feelings. A lot of us eat extra stuff, especially sweets, when someone has hurt our feelings. You throw the middles away. My granddaughter is the opposite. She opens it up, licks out the middle, and throws the Oreos away. I would do the same thing. I care more about the cookie than I care about the middle in it. And I don't know if it is because I am from Germany, but a lot of the American sweets here are so sweet. They are so sugary. In Germany, yes, we have our sweets and our pastries, but they are not over sugared. There is just so much extra sugar. And when I look at jellies or at other things at the grocery store, added sugar. It is already sweet. You buy a candy bar, it's already sweet. Why do you have to add sugar to it? It is already good the way it is. It's addictive. They want us to come back and buy more. So it's like we can't win because they get us hooked on that extra sugar, and then we can't stop because they added that extra sugar. There's no need to put extra sugar in there. It's already sweet enough just the way the Lord created it. And just because we have our cookie and our ice cream too, doesn't mean that it is a wise choice. Just because it is available for us, doesn't mean it is a good choice. There is a lot of things available that we would not partake in because it's not good for us. We need to add sugar to that list. Just because it is available doesn't mean it is good. Like my granddaughter says, Papa, that's not healthy. I'm eating healthy. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Proverbs 25:28 says, like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who lacks self-control. And you have to think about that a little bit. Like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who lacks self-control. Cities were created with walls around them to protect them from enemies or other bad characters to come in. They had guards around the city wall to protect it so that no harm could come to the people inside the city. Now imagine you have a city that has a wall around it, but then they decide they're just going to break that wall down. They're just not going to even guard it. They're just going to let it fall apart. What do you think is going to happen to the people on the inside if it is not guarded, if it is broken down, it has holes in it and cracks? The bad people, the bad things, the enemy can get in and wreak havoc on the city and the citizens. So it is with our sugar intake and our self-control. Our self-control is a shield around our body that will say, wait a minute. Is this fruit good to eat? Or is this cake good to eat? So we have a choice to make. We'll take the fruit. And I know fruit has natural sugars, but let's take the fruit. It is healthier than the pound cake. So our walls are up, our self-control works. Now let's say we make the pound cake choice. Our self-control was not strong enough. Our wall did not hold up. It let that sugar come in. Now we are hooked. We have a crack in the wall. We have a crack in our self-control. And our self-control breaks down. And all the bad, sugary things are coming in and wreaking havoc on our body. It's running our blood sugar up. It is making us depressed because our clothes don't fit. It is messing with our anxiety because we want more of the stuff. It is making us depressed because eating more of it is going to make us fatter. then we don't fit in the clothes, and we got to get new clothes, and the cycle continues, and one bad choice leads to another, leads to more health problems, and our walls are down, our self-control is non-existent, and we'll reap the bad benefits of that act. We need to keep our walls up. We need to practice self-control. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Start small. Start with small choices. If you want something sweet, replace it with fresh fruit. If you're more of the savory person, do some of, I don't know, carrots with a little bit of ranch. Or, oh my goodness, fresh vegetables, broccoli, or pretzels are not that bad. They're still bad, but not that bad. Choose foods that have less bad things in them. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, cucumbers. Make up some cucumbers. I know it is not the same as a bag of potato chips, but there is better choices if you are a savory person rather than the sweets. And we need to be strong and fortified and guard our choices. Sugar breaks down our immune system. If we don't exercise self-control in how much sweets we consume, then our immune system will break down. We are opening up the way for colds and flus and other sicknesses. Among others is diabetes, weight gain, hypoglycemia, which can lead to a bunch of other sicknesses. So we have to figure out a way how to be stronger. And one way is to pray to the Lord. Lord, help me to make better choices in my eating habits. Altogether, not just sugar. Help me to choose fruits and vegetables over sweets and savory things. I'm sure later on we will talk about salt intake as well. Because to me, salt and sugar sort of kind of go hand in hand because they affect blood pressure and all kinds of things. You need salt, but not in the way we consume it. And if you think about it, everything in the Bible is written for our benefit, for our protection, to help us, to guard us. And then she puts these things in here that is kind of shocking. 6 teaspoons of sugar in one sitting will decrease your immune function by 25%. 12 teaspoons will decrease your immune function by 60%. And 24 teaspoons of sugar will decrease your immune function by 92%. So it is basically crippling your immune system. And we're probably saying, well, I don't eat 24 teaspoons of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. Have you looked at the labels on the stuff that you eat? Everything has added sugar in it. The average American consumes 32 teaspoons of sugar a day. That is 120 pounds a year. And if you're still thinking, well, I still don't eat that much sugar, 1 can of Coke contains more than 8 teaspoons of sugar. And 24 is enough to break down our immune system. No wonder we feel sick and tired. I don't drink sodas, so that is not my downfall. But if you do, my daughter does. My daughter drinks Pepsi and wild cherry Pepsi. I don't know how many she drinks a day, but she's crippling her immune system. It is crazy to think that 8 teaspoons of sugar are in a can of Coke. And that's a can. That's not a bottle. Because I think a can is 12 ounces, right? A bottle is 16 ounces. We have an enemy. Sugar is our enemy. But besides sugar, we really got 3 enemies. The world, the flesh, and the devil. The world is our enemy because they keep tempting us with all kinds of different things, not just food-wise. And when we refuse to exercise self-control, we leave ourselves open to destruction. Just like the wall is breaking down, things can get in very easily, even with a little crack. So we need to pray to the Lord and ask for self-control to keep us on track. We have to protect our immune system and limit our sugar intake. But we got to take it a step further. We got to protect our family and limit their sugar intake as well. We have to help them so that their immune system will stay intact. Our affirmation: I limit my sugar intake lest I become like a city whose walls are broken down. Our practical section is short and sweet. Pray right now, asking the Holy Spirit, if you've been guilty of the sin of gluttony, begin to limit your intake of sugar. Remember, today is day 2 of vegetables and water. We spread it out over weeks. Last week we talked about eating only vegetables and drinking only water to help our body to be clean, to recover from all the bad things, and to see whether that is making a difference in not being so tired, not being so anxious, not being so run down and just exhausted all the time. And it does help. I can tell you it does help. We have made changes a long time ago about salt. Because when my husband and I first got married, I've noticed that he would put a ton of salt on his food, whether I seasoned it or not. He would add extra salt, and I'm like, well, if he's going to add extra salt, I'm leaving the salt out of cooking. So I eliminated all of the salt in the cooking. I used spices, but I left salt out because he was always extra salt. Watermelon, cantaloupe, I don't put salt on them like people here, and especially, I don't know, in the South, they just like salt on everything. I don't do that. If you need salt, just do a little bit. Don't overdo it. So then, my husband was diagnosed with blood pressure problems, and he stopped putting extra salt on his food as well. So then I started looking at the cans of food, low sodium or no sodium. So I tried to get things that had very little salt in them. And I know we'll talk about sugar. But you can do the same thing. You can look at if you eat cereal, at your cereal boxes and see what is more healthy than other things. If you are eating your sweets, choose a cookie with less sugar over a cookie with a lot of sugar. Don't eat everything all at one time. When we go out to eat sometimes, I'll get a carrot cake or something because, sometimes when you bake for yourself, you throw away most of it. So I love carrot cake, so I'll get me a piece. Those pieces are like this wide and, this long and this wide. They are thick pieces. I eat it in 3 sittings. I don't eat it all at one time. I eat a portion and I put it up. Then the next day I eat a little bit more, I put it up. And then I eat a little bit more. My husband can't do that. He has no self-control. He eats it all at one sitting. He used to eat, if there was just some left in the ice cream container, he'll eat the rest that was left in there. Portion control, we're talking about that next week. We need to make wise choices. Eat more vegetables. There is so many good vegetables out there. It's like when I went to a Food Line yesterday, I bought fresh asparagus. My daughter's going to make fresh asparagus. I bought cabbage, so we're going to have cabbage, fresh asparagus, cucumbers, tomatoes, and I might make a couple of potatoes or something. I don't know yet. But we're not going to have no meat. It's going to be all vegetables. Maybe we'll have a tomato sandwich, but it's going to be fresh vegetables cooked without a lot of salt or other things. It will be good and we're going to like it. You don't always have to have meat, salt, or sugar in your life. So let's pray to the Lord to help us to decide on better things. I need to do something. And I'm going to tell you something. We went to, it's a breakfast restaurant here in the next town over. When we come back from dialysis, we'll grab something to eat there. And they have really pretty chairs, cushioned chairs with a metal back. The back staves that are in there to hold the back up, I have problems sitting in them because my butt's too big. My butt's fat. It's bad when you can't sit in a chair comfortably at the restaurant. And when you have to request to sit in a booth. I need to do something about that. And food choices is not the only thing to help you with your health. Also doing a little bit of exercise. I know a lot of us have maybe mobility problems or things you can't do. You can still sit in your chair and lift your arms up and down. You can still sit in a chair or a couch and lift your legs up and down. You can do, scissors with your hands. There are so many other things that you can do to move, to have movement in your body that does not require you to stand with little movement, because maybe you have blood pressure problems and you cannot do the up and down. There's other ways you can get some exercise. If you're able to walk, just walk a little bit. Walk down to the mailbox and back if you have a longer driveway. Or put a mark on the road, halfway there and halfway back. Start every other day and work yourself up to every day. The more you do something, the more it becomes a habit, the longer and further you can go. You just extend the walk a little bit every day. Food choices. When you go to the grocery store, look at your labels. Buy things with less sugar. Buy things that has no added sugar. Buy things with less sodium or no sodium. Buy fresh things. Instead of that cake and that cookie, I can do fruit. I've got a watermelon in the refrigerator. We just finished a cantaloupe. I can eat that like nothing. And honestly, for me, I choose juice, and I know here the juices are so sugared. In Germany, they're not that sugared, but I would choose juice over a soft drink. I would choose fruit over the cake or the cookies. I don't do enough vegetables. I got to get better on eating vegetables. But there is choices you can make, and the more you exercise your self-control, the better it is. And even in restaurants have choices now. It's like I order my pancake or my waffle sometimes, or my French toast. I request fresh fruit instead of that sugary, warm stuff. First of all, I don't like it. It is way too sweet. I do that. I choose cinnamon sugar instead of all that powdered sugar. When they bring out the stuff you put over the syrup, I use very little syrup. Sometimes I don't even use syrup at all. Butter is another one that you can choose unsalted. There is different ways to choose good butter. Little changes in your life using self-control will make a difference. And the other thing about eating out, when we eat out, we used to eat everything or most of everything. Even here at home, we eat in smaller portions. When we are full, and it was hard for my husband to learn, and for me, stop when you're full. Because sometimes something, let's say you have a steak and you love it and you haven't had it in a while, and you just want to keep eating because it is so good. Stop yourself. When you're full, stop eating. Don't eat another bite. Save it for the next day. First of all, it's budget friendly because where did we go the other? We went to Outback the other day and we ordered ribs. Husband had mashed potatoes. I had asparagus with mine, and he ate a salad. He finished his salad, and we both had half a rack of ribs. He left about a little more than a quarter. I left about half of my half a rack of ribs, and he left most of his mashed potatoes. We brought those home. I had a soup that I brought home, a potato soup, and then we got, the meal came with desserts. It was 2 cheesecakes, and I brought the cheesecake home with, one of them was with raspberry, and the other one was with chocolate. I ate my chocolate cheesecake, but I only put half the sauce on there, the chocolate. We had 3 meals. We had, and my daughter was able to eat the soup. We ate at the restaurant. We ate again a second meal from that food. And my daughter had a cake to eat. We fed 3 people off of 1 or 2 restaurant meals for 2 days. Used to be we would sit there and eat it all. We making wise choices. Now, was the food choices good? Maybe not, but we didn't overeat. And if you couple that with, you put that together with walking a little bit more, or exercising, or doing things to help your metabolism, it's a win-win. You're exercising your self-control. Well, ladies, that is it for today. Next week is Eat Reasonable Portions. Our memory verse is still Proverbs 31, verses 14 and 15. And our passage is out of Proverbs 4, 20 and 22. Proverbs 4, 20 and 22 is our verse for next week. And our memory verse is Proverbs 31, 14 and 15. And I'm looking forward to I'm going through the reasonable portion section, and I hope that you gain some insight, that you learned something, that it helped you to make wiser choices about your foods, and look at your sweets and make the choices of better sweets. Do we have any prayer requests for this week? Are there any things going on we need to pray? Miss Sherry mentioned last week that her brother-in-law was back in the hospital and that her sister had some anxiety things going on. So we need to pray for both of them. Miss Bonnie had change in medicine, and need to pray for her that will help her. Anytime my husband has a change in medicines, it throws him for a loop. But sometimes it is necessary to change medication out. I got you covered, girl. I'm praying that you are finally at a point where that is a good change and it will help you, and they don't have to keep changing it. Are there any other things? Sherry, if you are still on here, let us know. Update on your brother-in-law and your sister, and we're going to continue to keep them on our prayer list. And I also want to pray for ourselves, that we will be able to make good decisions, that we will be able to exercise that self-control. And if we don't succeed, that we will not beat ourselves up, because that is not the point. It is not the point for us to get upset with ourselves. Just pray about it and let the Lord help you. Give yourself grace. This addiction to food and overeating, eating when things happen, eating sugary things, eating salty things, didn't happen overnight. It's going to take time to make those changes and to exercise that self-control. Don't throw in the flag if it doesn't happen right away. Oh no, your doctor retired. Oh. Oh man. Don't you just love it when someone new comes in and they think they know better and they change everything, and then you're like, no, that's working, that's helping. And they're like, no, we've got something better. It's like, I had a doctor one time trying to get me more atorvastatin cholesterol medicine. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, my tests are good. I don't need to change it. They're right at the borderline. I'm good. And he was down and determined, later on in the conversation, said, so we decided we're going to upgrade to, 40 milligrams. And I'm like, no, we are not. And he was a doctor that filled in. My normal doctor wasn't available, so I had to take an appointment with him. I'm like, no, it is working. I said, look at my results. They're not bad. And if it is bad the next time, then yeah, I'll make the changes. But no, I don't need to make the changes. He was trying to get me upgraded. And I'm like, no. I said, are you getting a kickback if you upgrade everybody on this medicine? And when I went back to my other doctor, everything was fine. I never did change. I never did upgrade to a higher dose. No, don't let your doctors talk you into something you don't need. No, money is a different story. But if they want to upgrade you and your stats are good, No, tell them. It, you know, I honestly think sometimes they wrap a new medicine and they just want to try it out on somebody and see how it works or get, kickback. So self-control, even with medication. I appreciate you ladies so much. Thank you for hopping on. Let me pray real quick and then I'll let you go. Thank you, dear Lord, for this wonderful, can't talk, for this wonderful time together every Saturday with our dear soul-filled sister friends, dear Lord. I love them so much, and I'm so grateful that you have brought them here to hear your word, to go through the lessons, to learn more, and this week to exercise our self-control. We need your help, dear Lord, to stand strong against the temptations of delicacies, sweets, salt, and all the things out there that make our taste buds get watery and wanting more. Help us to withstand. Help us to build that wall that has no cracks in it so that we can withstand all those tasty temptations. I ask for Miss Bonnie, her medicine change. You know, new doctors think they have better treatments and better things. Sometimes they do. I'm not dissing that. But sometimes our bodies are doing well with what we have. There is no need for change. Let the doctors look at that and see if it is working. Don't change it. So I pray the Lord that for Miss Bonnie, her medication changes will have a positive impact, that she will not be on this roller coaster ride, and that they will not tweak things more than they already have, that everything will level out, and that she will feel even better than what she did before. For Miss Sherry, I ask that you will continue to remember her brother-in-law and her sister. You know the needs that they have. One's back in the hospital. The other one is battling anxiety and some other issues. I just ask that you would just touch them and bring healing to those bodies. For those that have been in the storms, in the flooding, and the fires, in the heat, Texas is under a heat dome that is unbelievable, and other states as well. I just pray, the Lord, that you are just helping them to be able to cool down, bring relief from this heat, and those that are facing those really bad thunderstorms. We've been lucky that it's been going either south or north of us, but there've been some bad storms around. So I ask the Lord that you will protect all of us and the land as well, and all of us in it, and just protect us, guide us, guard us, the Lord, and help us to make it through this season of life, through this season of weather, and let us come out stronger on the other side. But most importantly, let us lift each other up, reach out and give a helping hand to help a sister or a brother back up again. There are so many things that we can help and do, and I just ask that we will be mindful of what someone might need or how we can offer help. Simple things sometimes make a big difference. Thank you, dear Lord, for our time together, for you watching over us, guiding us, and helping us to make good choices in our life. And I pray that you will bring us back together safely at next Saturday, and bring everyone in and together so that we can share and enjoy each other's company and learn together. I love you and I thank you. Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you will have a blessed Saturday, a blessed weekend, and join me at 2:30 Eastern later on today. I will show you the new fall transfers from Essential Stencil. They are amazing. So hop back on at 2:30 Eastern, and I will reveal those wonderful transfers. You're going to love them. they are amazing. And there are some new sizes too. So hop back on later and we'll do a little project, something quick, and I'll show you those. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Enjoy your weekend and stay cool and dry and safe.